What's going on, YouTubers? Colin here with Red Beans and Dice. Today I wanted to show you something that I had built myself for under $15, and it's a crucial part of having a great board gaming experience. So it's going to be the board game table. So I wanted to get in and show you a little bit of how I built this table. Unfortunately, I don't have any footage of when I was actually in the shop drilling the holes and putting it together, which would have been great. I actually built this table about 5 or 6 months ago, and I did not have my YouTube channel up at that time, so I really wish I could get you that footage, but I can still show you some of the techniques that I use and some of the ideas behind making a cheap table. I think the most expensive item that I bought were $6 rubber stoppers for the legs to go underneath them, just because I found these legs next to a curb. It was an old painting table, an old 6-foot painting table, and the foldable legs were actually in perfect shape. They just needed some rubber stoppers, and then obviously I took the top off and attached a new top to the legs. So I'm gonna flip the table over. I'm gonna show you exactly how I did everything, and I think you at home could make yourself a nice, easy board gaming table for under $20, $15, whatever you want. You just gotta keep your eyes open. So this is more of a informative, take a suggestion type video, but it's a great board gaming table, and I recently had some friends that said that some of their board games were taking up too much space and they didn't have room for the dash trays, the cards, the dice, things were falling over, this, that, the other thing. So I'll get into it. I'll show you a little bit of how I made this table right here. Very cheap, very easy, maybe 3 hours of labor, under $15, and I just wanted to let you guys see how I did it. Okay, so here we got the top. It is about 48 inches by 48 inches. It's actually a little under 47 on each side, 47 and a half, so almost 4 feet. And I think that's about the perfect size, because if you get any longer than that or wider or whatever you want to call it, it actually can make it difficult for maybe people with shorter arms to actually place things, onto the board. So I think this is about the perfect size here, and then it's a perfect octagon. Now, if you can find a table that's actually circular, I don't think that would actually be a problem, but let me get down here and show you kind of some of the things that were going on. So sorry about the cat hair there. I guess I should have vacuumed. But these are the most expensive thing I bought, were these little rubber stoppers for the legs, just so I wouldn't be dragging them around, and they give them a little more stability. And then also, this actually top is very heavy, and I actually like that. So the weight kind of gives a little more security when I prop it up like this, and just something that I noticed that I like. And there was some things like some edging around here that I actually took off, and other things like that. But for the most part, I had these little rubber stoppers were $6 at Home Depot, so they were the most expensive thing that I had. So go over here, and then another thing, if it's an octagon or kind of circular, I can actually take this, and instead of having to pick up this thing, which is actually about 60-70 pounds, you wouldn't believe it, it's heavy as crap, you can actually roll it. I roll this into my into my gym where I keep all of my extra stuff. So if you can find one that's circular, you can fold these legs on up and go from there. So let's get a little look into the underside. I got this top for actually $5. That's how much I paid for it. Not bad. Now, it did have some wooden little boards kind of connecting it, because there was a centerpiece that could come in here, but it wasn't at the store. So I got this for $5. Didn't have any legs. And then, I'm not sure if I said this, I probably did, probably repeating myself, but I found these legs in perfect condition next to the street. So it was just an old table, and I got rid of the top and took the legs off, and everything, I made sure everything was intact underneath. So that was a good find on my part. So what I did is I actually drilled into here the distance or the length or the thickness of this actual metal pipe thingy majigger right here. So I basically found how long this was, and I found a drill bit, and I drilled into that. So these are actually locked up into this 2x4, which as you can see, it's not the best. There's a little, it was just laying around. And then these, don't worry about these are distractions. So I just the screws that I had on hand, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't actually going too far and going into the top of the board. So I basically just had these here as buffers to make sure that I had the space to go into the board and not through it, because you don't want screws popping out in the top and cutting people. So that is that. And as you can see, it's not perfect. It's beat up, it's a little rugged, but it's got a good weight. And as you can see, the top was still in really good shape. So I made sure that everything was spaced out. I tried to get these to the back as far as I could so that I have more stability when I'm playing, because you always got those friends that want to lean on everything and put their elbows down and lean on the table trying to flip it. So that can be a problem. So that's basically it, just make sure everything's level, make sure everything's lined up, and then these can actually fold up and I can actually roll this table into whatever area I want. So bring it out when I need to, easily fold it up and get it back out of the way. And then there's another little trick that I use to actually help out my gaming experience, and I'll show you that right now. Give me 1 second. All right, so this is something that I got from, once again, Home Depot, and these are actually for the lining of like cabinets. So like dresser drawers, you can put them in the bottom, you can cut them to however length and whatever that you want. So as you can see, my table is an octagon. I cut it off a little here and here, and just made sure that it fitted to the table. I got one over here, and I just can slide this, as you can see, right over there. Doesn't have to be perfect, but that is basically the main idea. And then when you put tiles or cards or anything onto this mesh kind of material, it sticks to it so nicely, so you don't have people that actually bump it and then you have a cardboard tile for Zombicide or Massive Darkness or Lord of the Rings and things go flying. Everything's gonna stick very nicely. And I think both of these were about, I want to say like $3-4 each. So I got them, I cut them, and I fit them to the table. And I think it really helps out with the gameplay, and it really makes everything look a little better. So that's about it for my board gaming table tutorial video. So like I said, I'm really sorry I didn't have any footage of me drilling the holes and putting everything together. That would have been much more informative, but I think that anybody with basic skills can probably put together a table very similar to this one. So I just wanted to show you my gaming table, how I kind of put it together. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And thank you so much for watching my video, and have a great day.